español. Me gustaría mucho al hablar. Me tengo que hablar inglés porque autrement todo el mundo partirá a prender café. No que el inglés sea más bien, ma continuos del idioma. So, good morning, and thank you very much to the organizers. And also, I'd like to acknowledge the nice words of the authorities. And in particular, I must say of the alcaldesa, Barcina, because I've met her some time ago. We were, the two of us, together with other two colleagues in Albania in 1992, working for international cooperation. She, at that time, came as an expert on food, as she said, food security, food safety. And we were looking at the safety of the production systems of milk at that time to rehabilitate those. And were harsh times for Albania because they had restarted a new life after so many years. So we experienced a nice time, and for the second time after, now I see her in her new function. So I'm very happy to see her. I'm happy to see the many researchers, I presume you're here to use this day and to look a little bit at what we, together with you, because I like to say this of what I'm presenting is not a standing alone exercise that is sometimes conceived in a gray room in Brussels. But this comes out of an exercise that you will see during my presentation, which goes through many consultations. So it's basically what you also had to say. And it's not just, as I said, something conceived by a small group of people. So during my presentation, I will try to get through the current challenges we're facing, especially in this food and health area. It's not an easy area to deal with, and we will see why. How the EC Research Framework Program is dealing in this area. And I must say, as the industry is here present today, well represented, we have to see what is the role of the industry within this context. Challenges. It's normally used, this word, in a way to see something in front of us that we can provide solutions. A few use the word problems. They usually say we have challenges in front of us, not problems. Anyway, this might also be problems that we need to solve. And I think that science is there, innovation is some way a way to solve problems. So basically we have challenges, but we have problems to solve. And this problem to solve, it's actually you doing actively research, who you're going to find the solutions for these problems. And it's just, I would say, a short list of challenges and problems we are facing. We are experiencing in Europe an aging population. We are actually facing a world demand for food which is increasing. We're all concerned about sustainability. It's not just a word, but we are basically concerned ourselves as consumers, as citizens. And again, as consumers, we actually are more demanding. We're more demanding in terms of safety, quality in general, but we're also more demanding in terms of ethics. We see, and I'll show you, that ethics is becoming really an innovation driver. But we also very much look at prices. You've seen in the last year how prices have jumped up. Now, luckily, they are returning to normal levels. But this has greatly affected all of us. And sadly, I must say sadly, also our political masters discovered that food is not just a basic element. Food needs and must be produced. Food actually is something which is not, as we see on a daily basis, something that we found without any care or any possible thinking. We must think on how to produce food. So this has basically raised concerns, but also has raised awareness. We are suddenly receiving a lot of requests and also requests to the scientific community to find solutions to these problems. And all in all, we have this globalization that we all have to face, and we all have to go through these trade aspects, which are also concerning the way we produce food. But now today, and I again thank the organizers for having dealt specifically with food and health, because food and health, it's also my bread every day, and it's bread of my colleagues, and dealing with these aspects is basically a very privileged moment. But it's a privileged moment also because I can, together with you, go through, as I said, a certain number of aspects and see how basically nutrition, in this case, is also a way to work on preventive measures, because we shouldn't forget that we are dealing with the healthy people. It's not a drug. So we're basically dealing with healthy people, people that can have pleasure eating, that can eat. So that nutrition has, in this way, an important role to play in the preventive aspects, and this in the preventive aspects for health. But there are also other aspects that we have to take into considerations when we talk about health. It's about the social aspects. Why not about the behavior and the psychology, the genes, and the environment? Now, when we look at these challenges, as I said ahead, about food and health, and we look especially at the prevention of these diet-related diseases, for example, obesity, and you know that we actually becoming in Europe, not I would say suddenly, but we have our adolescents that are becoming more and more heavy in their weight. So it's a way to look at this aspect seriously. And it's also an aspect which has an impact on the national health budget. Sometimes it's calculated, on 1.2 or up to 4% of the national gross product of a country. So it's not negligible. It's not negligible. And if the statistics are right, the numbers are right, we have more than 175 million obese. But we should not also forget that we have 75 million people in Europe who are below the level of poverty. And they also have to have access to good food. So we need also to think to that, and also to see about and care about the health of these people. So you see the numbers that I just given you that give you a little bit the idea of the problems we're facing, the problems that you as a scientist must find the solutions. Then, as I said, we are also, for some experts, dreaming. And when I talk about dreams, why not dreaming? Talk about, for instance, personal nutrition. Many experts said, yes, it's a dream. Why not having a dream? It might not be tomorrow, but the day after tomorrow. And this is, again, it's a challenge that we're facing ahead.